Welcome back. If you didn't see episode 1, click the thing up there and go ahead and subscribe while you're at it. Let me give you a little backstory on why I bought a Volkswagen Bug. I saw a documentary, and after that, I just started looking for one. And if you're interested, I'll go ahead and link that in the description. They're cool cars. They seem simple to work on, and the VW community is huge. The past few years, I've always seen them pop up on Facebook, and surprisingly, they were pretty cheap cars at the time. So once I started putting prices together to see how much I could spend on a car like this, I determined the budget to be whatever I could sell my current car for. Now, wouldn't that be a pretty dumb thing to do, to sell my daily driver? And wouldn't that leave me without a car? Great question. No, because my good friend Carson is letting me drive his S10 pickup. So shout out to you, Carson. So why did I buy this Bug? Once I started looking, there was only one local to me, and it didn't run, and they wanted way too much for it. Plus, it was a Super Beetle. I was looking for a 1960s at the time, because I like the smaller taillights in the back. However, I'm starting to like the 70s round taillights. I found some more a few hours away from where I live, and really, it just didn't make sense to get them. Until I found this one. $350 was the cheapest that I could find. There were some that were in worse condition than this, and they were asking way more. Plus, this had parts, engines with it. To me, I just couldn't pass it up. So here I am. Should I have gone with a different option? Maybe. But I'm in this. Literally. And I'm gonna keep going. Like I said before, my only goal with this is to get this running and driving. It's not gonna be a perfect show car. It might still look a little bit rusty. There might be holes in the floor pan. But once I get this thing running, I'm gonna take it to Chick-fil-A. Because who doesn't like Chick-fil-A? Now let's get into this. So I have a bunch of my parts in. I just got the cam. I have the crank. I have a bunch of new parts to put in here. I have new pistons and cylinder heads. I have my new rod. However, this is where things start to get a little interesting. Whenever I took the engine apart, it came with 3 of these rods where you put the nut on the bolt, and then it had one where you put the bolt through the rod. I don't know the difference between these two. However, I know there is a significant weight difference between them, and I felt like because they're different that it would matter. I'm going to actually dig into the other engine and tear it apart and see if the connecting rods are good or usable, salvageable, and go from there. After spending a few hours working on the parts engine, I had hope, because when I took this head bolt out, it looked perfect. So I couldn't wait to see what was on the inside. To my disappointment, they were all rusty. I don't know if I want to use anything from this parts engine. So as I weigh out my options, I'm going to move on to something else. So my next step is to take all of these gears off. Okay. Here we go. After spending hours messing with ways to get this crank gear off with no success, you would think I would just buy the right tool to get it off. But I didn't. I thought, hey, I'm going to spend multiple more hours to make my own gear puller because I don't want to spend money on a tool I'm only going to use once. I have to go to what I call the barn, only just a few steps away, because I have most of my tools in here, but I also have some in the barn. And the reason why I don't move everything into the barn and call it a shop is because, well, it just needs a lot of work. See if it works. Well, version 2 did not work either, so I have one more idea to make this work. Okay. Version 3. I don't know. Guys, let me know if I'm trying too hard. Yes, Austin, you are trying too hard. This was about 2 days of work, trying and failing. At least I got to practice welding. It is not freaking moving. And I know what you're thinking. How about just buy the part or take it to a mechanic? Well, that's what I'm thinking also. So yes, I ended up buying the tool from Amazon and calling a mechanic. Here it is. I have a feeling that I'm gonna have to take it to the barn. Yeah. There it is, buddy. This is so, oh, that's so satisfying. Jeez. So I'm currently on my way to a Volkswagen mechanic, air-cooled specific, to look at the tolerances of everything, make sure, and possibly buy some parts from him. It snowed here over the past few days. I wasn't expecting it to be like it is. So that's kind of put a wrench in our plans, and I can't really do anything else because I don't want to work on the body because it's freezing outside. It is what it is. Sometimes you just gotta go with it. If you've never driven on ice or snow, there's a complete difference to the two. Snow is okay, ice is not. So yeah, risking my life for this Volkswagen. Here we are.
All right, for example, because this thrust back here is worn out, like that's standard, just like yours.
Okay.
See how the lips are pretty much identical?
Yeah.
And then when you bore it, like there's the oversized, you can see it's thicker, which makes this tight again, you know.
Gotcha.
The block gets bolted together, torqued, and then this special little machine goes in with these guides out here and then bores all of them at the same time. It is standard block, but it's worn out, so it would have to be bored.
So that's the news. I have to get my case rebored, which really isn't the worst thing. So while I'm waiting on some new thrust bearings and main bearings and all that stuff, I guess I'll start working on the body. Actually, everything about this car has been worst case scenario. I decided to move the car into the barn and take the steps needed to clean up this space. The bug is in the barn, which is awesome. Surprisingly, it rolled really well. The steering was actually felt really good. This car is super light, which is awesome. So I did get another fuel tank. I don't know if it's any good. I also did get two fenders with the older style tail lights. I don't know if I'm gonna end up using those, but I got them just because. I also have the rear bumper that's bent and beat up, but at least I have it. The guy included some sheet metal, which is great. The other tail light. So I am going to just assess the damage. Yeah. It's gonna be a lot of work. I do remember feeling when I got it that the heater channels, they felt solid. So that was something, but this is not so exciting. And I don't know if this is common, but it all feels great, you know, up until that point. So, yes, I know this is going to be a lot of work. It also came with the key. So, that's cool. I'm pretty sure it's original. You can see the Volkswagen. Leave that in there. I really do want to put a battery in this and just see if anything comes on. But I don't know if I'll do that because things might catch on fire. Headliner looks, I mean, it's got holes and everything, but I feel like I could clean up the front half if it doesn't just brittle and fall apart. Let's see what's back here. That's good. I think that's the strap for the alternator. I wonder if this opens up. Let's get this thing opened. I'm gonna see if I can get this down to see the condition of the luggage rack. Whew. Man, it's a bunch of seeds and mold and whatever else. Spider webs. Speaker. Shift knob, maybe? This is so gross. Well, there it is. Yeah, that's what I'm not looking forward to. It's a brown recluse. Hate them. Hate those freaking things. It's gonna need a lot of work. I don't even have the bolts for the hood. And the wiring is a mess. Fuel tank. All that rust. I'm really hoping the transmission works. However, if it's like anything else with this car, it's probably not gonna work. The starter looks like maybe it's good. And rust back here is pretty minimal, so that's a good sign. I definitely have my work cut out for me. So that's gonna be it for this video. If you would like to donate to this build, click the link in the description. And if you're not into that, just give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos like this.